Hey everyone, so I just wanted to give a quick rundown of my Holy Totems Hierophant that I've made for my League starter and the progress that I've made so far. It's a pretty strong build. Totems are always going to be good. I know this League is mostly based around hand casting, self-casting, whatever you want to call it, but I don't play Totems very often, and I originally read somewhere on Reddit before this started the idea of becoming a battle cruiser, like a spaceship battlecruiser with railguns, and using the Divine Ire skill as your railguns. And I thought that was pretty funny, so I decided I would give it a shot, and I wanted to discuss a little bit about how the build goes and why I do and don't like certain things about it. Now, if you notice, for clearing, I'm using actually Purifying Flame and not Divine Ire, and that is because Purifying Flame has a much better clear. It's more reliant. Not that it does more damage or that the AoE's exceptionally better than Divine Ire. It's that Divine Ire, being a channel skill with a payoff on release, is a little clunky with the totems, and you wind up getting into the situation where you lay down the totem for Divine Ire and you actually lay down other totems in its place to trigger the activation or the let go sooner. And it just gets a little clunky when you're trying to do that, and I don't really care for it that much, so I wound up switching to Purifying Flame. The AoE is really nuts on it, especially when you get a couple Consecrated Ground stacks going, because the way it works is it chains, like the first AoE makes a Consecrated Ground, and then the next one, like, it's not weird, it doesn't chain exactly, but it like makes a bigger AoE which spreads across your Consecrated Ground or something. Or maybe it's just bigger if it targets Consecrated Ground. It's kind of weird how it reads, and maybe I could look better into that before I try to tell people how it works. But either way, the AoE is pretty good on it, and it does a lot of damage. So you noticed a second ago I actually was switching gems, and that's because I still use Divine Ire for single target, and I wouldn't recommend doing that all the time, and I don't do it in maps. That was just for a demonstration. But I do it if I'm going to do like a big boss, say it's Ziri or whatever, because the damage on the Divine Ire is a lot better. Now this is just normal at Ziri, but here you can see it actually accidentally one-shot all of them. Never killed them all at the exact same time in the same hit before, so that was a little interesting. But yeah, switching the gems does get annoying. You could easily set up like Shaper gloves or helmet, maybe even a Shaper weapon, but I wouldn't recommend that, and I'll go over the gear in a little bit, but that way you don't have to switch gems if you're going from single target to clear. And but for maps, for the most part, I'm only in mid-tier yellows, but for the most part there isn't a lot of call for switching gems in the middle of a map. So yeah, that's basically how the build plays. There isn't a whole lot really special about it. You're just laying the totems down, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the gear, and we'll get right into it. Alright, so here's a quick breakdown of the gear. There's nothing exceptionally special or game breaking. I only have one unique item equipped, so I'll just go piece by piece here. I have a Royal Scepter that's kind of in like a transitionary period because I am trying to fossil craft it, and I'm using, let me find them real quick. I'm using Jagged. That's not it. I don't think I have the other ones. Yeah, no, that's why I'm not able to do it right now. I'm Jagged, Etheric, and Prismatic, because I'm trying to get the additional physical damage as extra whatever, basically. Fire, doesn't matter. But right now this is what it's settled on, and I just haven't gotten around to getting more fossils. But basically what you're going to look for is, in my opinion, the extra physical scaling, because the spells that we're using are physical based with conversion, and you're scaling elemental damage, so that's really strong. And then global crit multi is really good, crit chance is good, spell damage, elemental damage, anything like that. This is a crit based build, if I didn't say that already. I don't think I did. And for the shield, this is actually really important. It has the +1 maximum number of summon totems, which this patch they did make into a Shaper mod instead of a crafted mod from the Veiled items, which makes it easier to get reliably because it can come on any Shaper shield that's item level 70 or higher, but it also makes it less reliable to get on a good shield. So I paid 1 Exalt for this. It has okay stats. I put the craft on. Nothing special about that, just life and some crit chance after that. I bought this It's just life resistance. I bought it fractured, crafted the resistance on it. Pretty simple. This ring is probably the worst piece of gear I have, I think, if I remember right. This is level. It is level 69. Oh, it's just nothing special, just resistance in life. Cast speed. I'm actually not 100% sure on all these now. I know I got this for dexterity. I don't remember why. I think I was trying out hatred, and I don't think I needed the dexterity anymore. Oh no, you know what? I'm incorrect here. That was for the carcass jack, which is good for pretty much any AoE skill. It's not always best in slot, but it's good for clearing. It's good damage, good life. I bought this synthesized with the fire damage, and I used an Essence of Hysteria on it, which gives the gain 10% of physical damage as extra fire mod. And I got a little bit lucky that it gave me a resistance and cast speed and strength, which is life, and it still had a prefix open for crafting life. And oh, I lied. That ring is this ring is not the worst gear. This is the worst piece of gear I have. This I'm pretty sure I got while leveling, or I guess it was just after leveling. This just life and resistance. So one thing I'm gonna show here is, oh, you know, I have the wrong capture on. Well, I'll show the gloves I made in POB in a second. So life resistance on the belt, nothing special there, and again life resistance, movement speed on your boots, nothing special there. For flasks, I have an instant freezing flask here. Sin's Rebirth, which is really good because Unholy Might gives you 30% of physical damage as extra chaos. That's really strong. Diamond Flask for your crit chance, which your crit is this is really good. It's 40%, but you get power charges built up. So you get quite a bit more, and they're going to be on consecrated ground, which now gives you more crit chance as well for any enemy standing on it. Quicksilver Flask with a low adrenaline roll, but it's still an adrenaline roll. It's Ire's Promise. Obviously really good for this. Physical damage, extra chaos, and then that physical damage is converted into elemental, at least partly, which then is extra chaos as well. So I mean, the build does do a small amount of chaos, but it's free extra damage that doesn't get resisted. I do use Zealotry, the new aura, crit chance, more spell damage, very strong. Herald of Ash, physical damage is extra fire, again very strong. I'll show you the passive tree real quick. There will be a path of building link in the description with pretty much all this information into it, except for one thing, but I'll go into that in a second here. So pretty simple. When you're leveling, just head here, probably grab the life nodes, this and this. I went immediately across here while leveling and grabbed this circle here. That's very strong. I didn't spec into totems till about 40, so I ignored this. Maybe, no, it's probably around 40, I think. And coming up over here, just grabbing your totem, getting the placement speed as much as you can. And life, mana, crit chance, AoE, gems, power charges, more crit chance over here, life. Then I came down here. I wonder if this is 1, 2, 3. No, this is less points this way than this way. Grabbing some life. I wanted to get as much placement speed as I could, so I grabbed this one, which has placement speed, but the rest of this isn't very good. And I grabbed this. This is a lot of placement speed. That way, you know, basically snap the totems out as quick as possible. And then for the Ascendancy, I did go Hierophant, and I haven't done Uber Lab yet. I have the capability, just been lazy about it, so that's on me. But obviously this one, I did this one first. You get the +1 totem. I guess there's other stuff on there, totem duration. This one's really good for the placement speed, and most importantly, summon 2 totems at the same time. And that's it's just quality of life, because I mean, you get so much placement speed, it's pretty much like being able to place all your totems at once. But now, instead of, it just like halves your mana cost in a way, and makes it easier while clearing. And then this one is how you get your power charges. Whenever you place a totem, 50% chance to get a power charge. And then whenever you get a power charge, 25% chance to get an endurance charge. I'm not sure why this mechanic is so clunky, because you really just get the charges all the time. But yeah, that's an argument for another day. And then for the next one, I guess I don't know what I'm going to take for my last one, because like I really don't like Mind Over Matter. That's just a personal quirk. I'm not saying Mind Over Matter is bad. It's just like annoying for me, so I try to avoid it. And like, I guess this is good, and the reason being, I do the old trick where you have faster cast, or I'm sorry, Flame Dash, Arcane Surge, and faster casting. So you level the Arcane Surge to be exactly at the mana cost or just below it. So that way every time you flame dash, you get the Arcane Surge buff, which is more spell damage and all that. So I probably want to take in that because that is 40% increased spell damage and some AoE. The Life Leech doesn't apply because it's totems. For the jewels, I tried to get crit multi, spell damage, totem damage, anything like that. Have one here as well. It's not, I mean, it's just a 2 property with the crit multi for fire skills and the global crit multi. Now the fire skills, I am prioritizing Purifying Flame because I don't use Divine Ire as much. Obviously, if you were to prioritize that one, you would switch it into lightning skills. And I think I have one more over here. So yeah, crit multi for fire skills, and then I regaled the fire damage, so that was pretty lucky. I only paid 1 chaos for that, but that is a 3 property, that's not too bad. And I'll just show you the effect is actually quite a lot of damage from that. So I'm at 52k tooltip DPS. It's quite a bit for just a jewel that's, you know, 4,000 damage right there. Oh, and it scales up even more with your higher crit chance when you have the bus. So I do have a point to put in, but that's a whole other thing. I think there was anything else to show you here. I was just going to jump into Path of Building now, if I had the right capture up. Quality production. Alright, so one thing I want to note here, the rings and the boots, they're not showing up because they're synthesized, I think. So those are my 2 synthesized items. Yeah, so that they don't appear in the Path of Building. I don't know when that's going to be fixed, but like I just didn't put them in myself. So the gloves I was talking about earlier, I made these. Now these would obviously be quite hard to get, but this is just a idea of something you can set up so that you don't have to gem swap for single target if you get into higher maps and Purifying Flames just isn't cutting it. Basically that's like a 5-link, 6-link. I think it's like a 6-link. Faster casting is good for Purifying Flame and for Divine Ire. More so, excuse me, for Divine Ire because it gives you the quicker pulse. But yeah, pretty much anything past that isn't anything else to do. I guess you could do like a helmet or something instead. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this. Is there something else I was gonna show you? No, I think that just about does it. Oh, I didn't do the link. My bad. I didn't do the links here. Purifying Flame, obviously, most importantly, Spell Totem, and then you want added fire for the extra physical. Fire, yeah, extra physical as fire. And then Elemental Focus, and I put in the increased critical strikes. I just like the consistency of having the crit. And so, with all of that, you know where we're at. It is about... no, right, yep. I mean, 74k DPS, that's not that bad. It's really not, because that's per totem. So you multiply that by 4, you're getting 300,000 DPS on 2 exalts worth of gear. If that. I mean, I paid 1 exalt for this, I paid 10 chaos for this, and I'm fossil crafting it. These are 25 chaos right now. Everything else is shit. Oh, these are cheap. Just pro tip, buy Sin's Rebirth before someone catches on and they go up in price with all these physical spells going around. I'm surprised that they're as cheap as they are. I bought this for 17 chaos. Oh, I'm not sure why. Maybe I'm missing something, but it's supposed to be really good. You know, when you turn it on, you get chunks of damage with the series promise and all that. So, yeah, look at that. It just that chaos damage just hikes up right there. But yeah, that's all I can think of right now. So yeah, if you have any questions on the build or anything else you wanted to know that I didn't touch on, because I probably forgot some, I have literally every video I've made. I forget something important. I have been streaming a lot, so you can come by my stream, twitch.tv/casualryan, or you can message in the comments below, or you can tweet me at casualryan gaming on Twitter. I think that's pretty much it. So yep, I'll see you in the next video. I plan to make a few builds. I'm probably going to touch on the Soul Ren trend that's going on right now. So, alright.